We'll get started with my 2 hours, and I hope you stick around, sit back, grab a cup of tea, a cup of coffee, give us a call, shop with me. I would love to hear from you this morning. 1-866-376-8255 is a number to call if you want to become part of the show. If you own any of these pieces, come on in, tell me what you're purchasing for yourself or for someone you love today. So let's talk about Rasa Living. This is the Chakra Bead Multi-Gemstone Necklace. And this is a brand that you've seen in Designer Gallery with Colleen Lopez. It's a brand founded by a woman. Her name is Donna DeCruz. And she basically founded this lifestyle brand to really bring spirituality into everyday life. So what you're looking at here is all gemstones done in the way a classic pearl necklace is done, individually strung, individually hand knotted, but done in a more fresh way with the gemstones that correspond to each of the 7 chakras. Now, if you believe in, you know, the qualities, the energy that gemstones have, you know, that energy, a lot of people like to carry gemstones in their pocket, in their purse, put it in your sock drawer. If you believe in that, you gotta stay with us for this one because you're gonna feel those cool, smooth, round bead gems. What you're looking at here is genuine onyx, green aventurine, South African amethyst, rose quartz, orange chalcedony, and then you've got lapis and tiger's eye as well, all on one piece. So think of it as a classic strand of pearls, but done in a more fresh way. If you aspire and you believe in the power of gemstones, that energetic power of gemstones, you're gonna love this piece too. But even if you just love color, if you want a necklace that goes with everything you own, this is the one for you. Now, please keep in mind, this is all genuine gemstones. This was $119. We've got it at $72 off. Think of it as our way of traveling the world through these exotic gems, but there's not a thing in your closet that you won't be able to wear with this beautiful design. You know, there's something about the way it feels on the neckline, how it feels nice and cool, and that's kind of the hallmark of genuine gems. They do have an energy to them, and whether you believe in that or not, you know, there is a difference when you wear genuine gems or if you're wearing glass beads or resin beads. These are all genuine gems in the most magnificent colors. The onyx, said to be a grounding stone, a stone of mystery. You know, you've got the green aventurine. Think green is the ultimate color that goes with everything. It's the color of nature. It's lush, it's beautiful, it's vibrant. We also have in there the amethyst. I know you love amethyst. It's often been a gemstone of the quartz family that has been associated with spirituality and royalty and that regal vibe and the deep, beautiful purple it has. You've got lapis in here, which we didn't even mention. That's genuine Afghani lapis, which is said to be an intuition stone. We also have the tiger's eye from Brazil. We've got the rose quartz that, I don't know about you, but when I think love and grace and tenderness, I think rose quartz. And so $11.98 on a credit card payment to go ahead and get this home. Remember that all of the 7 chakra stones are in this piece, and it's a piece meant to elevate your spirit, your senses, and then of course, your style. Beautiful, smooth, high polished beads. That is not glass, that is not plastic, that's not resin. They're all gemstones and sterling silver on the findings there. Now, 18 inches in the length. You do have a 3-inch extender to go ahead and extend that so you can wear it nice and high and tight, or you can go ahead and loosen it up a bit, but it is exquisite. And I love the versatility, the fact that it matches with everything. 554961 is your item number. Also available